Over 40-mile-an-hour winds will continue to batter parts of our area, and how a historic winter storm will bring record snowfall just north of us. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi friends, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. It's great to see you on a Monday. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. A lot to get into on this Monday. We've got some really significant weather, and we have just a plethora of different weather. We've got some areas they're going to see some cool weather and rain, other areas some warmth and a lot of wind. And we have got a historic winter storm developing in the northern Gulf Coast states of the U.S. As we get started, Meteo Mundo is sponsored by the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida. They're your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. Anything that could impact yourself or your property, hail, hurricanes, busted pipes, or a car accident, they will walk you through every step of the insurance claim process. They offer free consultation and policy reviews. You can go to www.leanonmelaw.com for all the information. Let's get into what's happening right now. You're looking at the enhanced satellite imagery here. These are your current temperatures in Fahrenheit, which range anywhere from the mid-60s in the northwest side of the Bahamas to some lower 90s in portions of Hispaniola and on the northern coastline of South America. Now, we're going to get into this historic winter storm coming up, but in the meantime, right now, a cold front that has slipped back down into South Florida and is beginning to stall out is bringing some cloud coverage and some showers right now at the hour across portions of the far northern sides of the Bahamas, from Walker's Key to Grand Bahama, Freeport, Lucaya, where it is a chilly 66 degrees on this Monday afternoon. It's somewhat overcast, and it is light showers drifting on by. More rain for Bimini. Some of this could reach the Abacos as well. And there's an opportunity that some of this could try and drift as far south as Andros and the Nassau, New Providence area here. Generally speaking, this rain, though, is actually lifting back up to the north. And by the way, if you live in Florida, temperatures right now are already slipping back into the 30s and 40s in a couple of spots in the northern part of the state. It's an outrageously cold forecast before the winter weather begins to move in. Back over to what's happening across the rest of our area right now. Again, I'll throw back on those temperatures. You know, it's been a relatively pleasant forecast for most of us today. There's that cold front that's stalling out as we speak. You have true Arctic air coming through the southern plains and a developing area of low pressure here, south and east of the front through the remainder of the Caribbean into the Lesser Antilles. Winds are really freshening up out of the east, and we've actually had some winds in the Lesser Antilles, including Barbados for today, that have been over 40 miles an hour. So you're talking about some really strong winds, and this is going to bring in some fast-moving showers. Speaking of those winds, let's take a look at them right now. There you go, in the Bridgetown area of Barbados. A nice little 40-mile-an-hour wind. What do you say I put on the visible satellite imagery, and you can see that these easterlies are just whipping across some cloud coverage across the Lesser Antilles for today. There's been just enough moisture where we've had some fast-moving showers here, but really the story has been dominated by the wind and then the surf and the sea conditions. We have high surf advisories, we have small craft advisories, and even some small craft warnings. We have a yellow advisory number 1 for the high seas in the Trinidad and Tobago area. Grenada had a 29-mile-an-hour wind gust. Guadeloupe had a 28. Montserrat had a 30 on over towards Barbuda and Antigua, about a 30-mile-an-hour wind. And you notice again, just ripping easterly breeze with the opportunity for a couple of passing showers. Same situation for our friends in the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. Anegada, Roadtown, Tortola, Yost Van Dyke, St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix. Nice little 30-plus mile-an-hour wind there from time to time in St. Croix. Rip current advisories are in effect right now to go along with the small craft advisories. Ponce had an over 30-mile-an-hour wind, San Juan as well. And again, some fast-moving showers with this. Now, we're going to continue to see the opportunity for a few showers along the northern and eastern sides of the Dominican Republic as well. Punta Cana, La Romana, Samana, Puerto Plata, the best chance, even down towards Santo Domingo. The interesting thing is that you saw how warm it was on the Haiti side of the island. It's because those winds are sloping down and they're actually compressing. And it's been a very warm and dry day across most of the western side of Hispaniola. Beautiful afternoon for the central and the southeast Bahamas as well. Again, all the moisture is kind of lifting back up towards the north right now, so temperatures there in the lower 80s. Fair skies for my friends in Jamaica. A beautiful afternoon. Kingston, mid 80s is not horrible. They did reach 89 earlier, but we're back to the mid 80s. Montego Bay enjoyed a beautiful day. Passing clouds. If you've maybe seen a light shower here, let me know in the comments section below. We have very rough surf and sea conditions offshore, high sea advisory to go along with some strong winds, again, for the offshore waters south of Jamaica. So fishermen and mariners, please keep that in mind. Beautiful afternoon in the Cayman Islands as well. And again, you can clearly see the impacts of this developing system in the northwest Gulf of Mexico. This is going to bring some wet weather to the Yucatan Peninsula, and already some cloud coverage has built in and it's gotten pretty thick. So, places like Cancun for today, it's on the chillier side, dropping back down to 73. Cozumel hit 80 a little bit earlier. Clouds and a few showers trying to run on shore through portions of Belize and Guatemala and the northern sides of Honduras, but they've been relatively isolated in nature. And again, you can see some fast moving clouds ripping across the southwest side of the Caribbean. And for our friends in the ABC Islands, again, brushing a couple of showers from time to time. You guys had some good rainfall in parts of the islands over the weekend. That was great to hear as well. Temperatures are in the lower 80s. It is going to be a very active forecast for our friends in Bermuda. Another system coming off the United States East Coast will bring a lot of wind and wave and rain action there. So as we get into the forecast, thank you for taking a quick second and liking this video. If you haven't subscribed to Meteo Mundo, you want these forecasts, we appreciate the subscription. Thank you for sharing this with your family and friends and other ways to support the channel as well. So now we are going to get into the forecast, and because this is an historic winter storm, I do want to talk for a brief second here about what's going to be happening in the southern United States. We have a lot of viewers who view us from the U.S., and especially a lot of those who view from the southeast and Florida in particular. Now, this is almost unprecedented. All of this pink that you see here are actually all winter storm warnings, okay? And for, as an example, the Houston metro area, they're expecting 3 to 5 inches of snow and locally higher. For southwest Louisiana, they're expecting 4 to 6 inches of snow and maybe even higher amounts. This will come along with some sleet and some freezing rain. Gale conditions on the offshore waters there of the northern side of the Gulf of Mexico. Look, the winter storm warning takes you as far south and east as Gainesville and Jacksonville, Florida. Now, for these areas, it's more about light freezing rain and sleet rather than actual snow accumulation. But you get west of Tallahassee, Florida, okay, and into the western panhandle, they could see a couple of inches of snow. And many areas are going to be breaking their all-time snowfall totals across the I-10 corridor here of the northern side of the Gulf of Mexico. So I have to show you that just because, again, it's such an unusual thing, and so many of you have interests here in the United States as well. To show you on the GFS model how this plays out, and let me just make sure that this is over to the what's called precip type rather than just rain. Again, a developing area of low pressure in the northwest Gulf of Mexico combines with true Arctic air, which has worked its way all the way into southeast Texas. And then this system is just going to race across the coast. It's unbelievable the amount of snow that we could get out of this over the next 48 hours or so, mainly starting, again, what could be very late tonight, but especially on Tuesday and then into early and mid-Wednesday as you get into the panhandle of Florida and then towards the northern side of the peninsula. Again, still mainly rain up here, but just to show you, it is mixing in with some sleet and freezing rain and some lighter snow for places like Tallahassee, Valdosta, Georgia, even up towards Savannah, Georgia as well. So unbelievable. This will eventually also bring some showers into the Bahamas, but I had to highlight that. This is the European model snowfall totals in inches, by the way, right? So 4 inches is going to get you 100 millimeters of snow. There's Houston, again, 4 or 5 inches of snow, southwest Louisiana, maybe 6+ inches. We could have some banding of the snow that could produce locally higher amounts kind of in these southwest and northeast swaths. But I want to be clear, look at the snowfall, right along the Gulf Coast. Grand Isle, Louisiana, right, which normally deals with hurricanes, literally being off the tip of the Mississippi River, could have 5 inches of snow. Same thing for coastal Mississippi. And then there's your 2, 3, even 4 inches of snow in the European model as far east as Tallahassee, Florida, then kind of going through South Georgia and up the Carolina coastline. Unbelievable stuff. None of these cities have any ways to treat the roads ahead of time or to plow the roads during the storm. This is going to snarl traffic in a massive way in the southeast. So I wanted to highlight that. Again, just an absolutely unusual situation there. Now, as we get into the forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas will be impacted by that system. It is going to bring some rain across that area starting late Tuesday and into Wednesday. Now, it's mainly just going to be the northwest Bahamas. So I'm talking about Walker's Key and Grand Bahama and the Abacos and Bimini and Eleuthera and Nassau, New Providence and Andros, maybe as far south as Cat Island and Exuma and Rum Key. But you get south of there, and the moisture really does kind of fall apart. So I've got a much higher rain chance for the northwest Bahamas compared to the central and the southeast side of the island chain. Same situation for Turks and Caicos. Again, not a lot of rain expected the next few days. Western sides of Cuba will catch some of this rain. So Havana West will see a little bit better for opportunity for showers. And this is what I was talking about for the Yucatan. Sorry about that. That this front and the moisture with it sinks very far south and west. And so we're going to get cloudier skies, cooler weather, and a fair high opportunity for rain for places like Cancun, Cozumel, Tulum, back down towards Chetumal, and at least some scattered showers for Belize City, on over towards Roatan and the Utila areas as well. Speaking of the rest of Central America, just scattered rain for most of Nicaragua, on over towards Costa Rica and Panama. Let's go on up towards Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. Not expecting a lot of showers here, guys. Many dry hours and locations. Could see a few passing showers with the brisk easterly winds. But for my friends in Kingston and Montego Bay and Negril and Port Antonio and Mandeville and Maypen, Spanish Town, Halfway Tree, not a lot of rain in the forecast over the next few days, and it's relatively dry conditions for Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, and Cayman Brac as well. For Hispaniola, still favoring the northeast side of the island, right? Because that's where the moisture is going to be coming in from. So the best opportunity for showers will be on the northeast side of the coast, even down towards Santo Domingo, and then drier as you go farther west. We're going to continue to see relatively elevated rainfall chances for Puerto Rico and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, especially for this time of the year. Look, I've got 50, 60, 70% chance for rain in some spots in the next 3 days. That's pretty darn decent here as we push into late January. Again, it's not going to be the moisture content of the storms in the summertime, but fast-moving light showers are going to be in the forecast in these areas, and that includes the Lesser Antilles as well. You can clearly see here on the model that the easterlies continue to provide enough moisture where scattered showers will break out every day. Elevated surf and sea conditions will continue. So my friends in Anguilla and St. Martin and Saba St. Eustatius, St. Kitts and Nevis, Barbuda and Antigua and Montserrat, healthy, rain chance. I would expect out of the next 3 days, you're going to get a shower probably in your area 2 of those 3 days, and maybe in some areas, maybe all 3 days. Fast moving. We'll look at the rainfall totals coming up. They're not going to be outrageously high. Not worried about any flooding or anything like that, but just high chances overall. And it's actually even higher for Guadeloupe, Dominica, back down towards Martinique and St. Lucia. You can see that there's a little bit more concentration of moisture here in kind of the central part of the island chain, and then into the Windward Islands. I've got a decent chance for rain for Barbados for tomorrow, and then scattered showers as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. But you can just see again, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, even down towards Trinidad and Tobago. A fair amount of moisture to play with here should provide relatively high opportunities. ABC Islands, Nueva Esparta, not as much. A couple of scattered showers are possible here, but rain chances will fall a little bit. You want to talk about an area that's going to have a lot of rain and wind. That is going to be Bermuda. They are going to be in for a rocky couple of days here with some widespread showers and a lot of wind energy. Speaking of the wind, I've got to show you that as well, because this time of the year, it's a big factor. The cold fronts coming out of the United States southeast will impact obviously the western Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico, but also take a look at these brisk easterlies that are flowing through the majority of our area. Now, the pink arrows are winds of 25 miles an hour and higher sustained. okay? And you saw some of the gusts today in the Lesser Antilles that were approaching and going over 40 miles an hour. So mariners, keep this in mind. Long period swells are still in the forecast. Opportunity for developing gale conditions as well in the exposed waters of the Atlantic. And here comes that next front that again will twist around the winds to Bermuda, back down towards the Bahamas as well. It's going to get chilly once again. It's already chilly right now, but I'm telling you, my friends in the Northwest Bahamas will be in store to see temperatures well below average the next several days. So let's break down this rain chance for you island by island. We'll start in the Bahamas, Northwest Bahamas, just a 20% chance for tomorrow, but as the front arrives, we're up to a 50% chance for some pretty chilly rain, overcast skies, gloomy day, and some kind of cool rain out there at a 50% chance starting on Thursday. Again, it's much lower for the central and southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos. Cuba has a few showers in the forecast, especially on Thursday. Same thing for my friends in the Cayman Islands, slightly higher chance there. Belize City, decent chance for some rain, up to a 40% chance. Cancun and Cozumel really builds in the shower chances Wednesday and Thursday, up to at least a 40% chance. Again, not a lot of rain in the forecast for Jamaica. Dominican Republic is a 60% chance, again, favoring the northern coastal areas, 40 Wednesday, Thursday. How about Puerto Rico? 70% chance for showers tomorrow, 50 Wednesday, Thursday. It's about the same in the U.S. Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Islands, 60 tomorrow, 50 Wednesday, Thursday. Bermuda stays exceptionally wet, cool, and windy. Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, 40% chance the next couple days, 30 on Thursday. Antigua, Barbuda, 50 tomorrow, 40 Wednesday, Thursday. We'll drop it off a little bit in Montserrat. As I've mentioned, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, South, especially on Wednesday, kind of that higher elevated rain chance, but still pretty darn good Tuesday, Thursday. St. Lucia, 40 to a 50. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 30, 40. We'll build the rain chance through the rest of the next 3 days in Barbados, up to a 50% chance on Thursday, 30 to a 40 Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, again, elevated sea conditions as well. Some of this rain, especially for TNT, will fall in the evening and the overnight hours. Scattered rain for Suriname and Guyana, isolated for Nueva Esparta, and just a couple of showers in the forecast for our friends in the ABC Islands. Again, it's not going to be fun as far as the waves go here over the next several days. A couple of areas to point out. Obviously, you've got the very strong winds coming off the U.S. East Coast. You can see what the easterlies have done. And then now, again, because this long fetch of wind has moved deep into the Western Caribbean, now you have those elevated sea conditions again towards Jamaica and the Cayman Islands as well. I mean, we're talking about some wave heights that are reaching 8 to 10 feet in a couple of spots. Obviously, we're going to have turned up conditions in the Gulf of Mexico and on the exposed waters of the Atlantic east of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, again, near gale conditions. But many areas, small craft advisories or small craft warnings, and then high surf and sea advisories as well. Please check in with the local government and local officials for the most up-to-date detailed forecast, but there's a lot of areas where being offshore at small craft is just simply not advised over the next several days. Looking at the European rainfall totals over the next 7 days. Again, we're still relatively impressive here in Central America. It's going to be localized, but along the Caribbean coastline of Quintana Roo and Belize and Guatemala and Honduras and Nicaragua, all the way down towards Costa Rica and Panama, we can see some spots 3-4 inches of rain, 75 to 100 millimeters. You can see the European model has the farthest sliver of the Northwest Bahamas with some of the heavier rain. It tails off relatively quickly south and east that you go. And again, it's very area dependent across the Lesser Antilles, but if you see those brighter colors there, it's mainly on the eastern sides of the islands with the easterlies coming through. A couple of spots, again, a few inches of rain is absolutely not out of the question. That's what it looked like on the European model. This is what it looks like on the GFS model. And again, we can look at this here. This one's over the next 5 days. And you can just kind of take a look and see. Again, we've got, maybe 1.5 inches of rain here, or 37 millimeters in a couple of spots, maybe even up to 50 in a few locations. But it's not going to shock me that, even though the daily totals are going to be relatively low, that in a 5-day period, we get a couple of spots that will end up going 1 to 2 inches of rain in these areas. It's not out of the question. Notice again how I said Dominica South, a little bit higher rain chance overall. We're going to have lesser amounts as well in Anguilla, in Barbuda, in Antigua, a 1/2 inch of rain. There's your favor of the eastern side of Puerto Rico, but even St. Thomas and St. John and St. Croix, maybe a half inch over the next few days. Not as much rain overall compared to what we've had lately in the Dominican Republic, but again, Samana and Puerto Plata areas, some showers, and then it dries out relatively quickly as you get into the Haitian side of the island. As you see, there's not much rain for the Cayman Islands and for Jamaica. There's that heavier rainfall again, just right up and down the coastline of Central America on the Caribbean side, where maybe just offshore of San Jose, they pick up 5+ inches of rain. And again, we might sneak some heavier rain to the northwest Bahamas. It's going to be close, right? So the model has Walker's Key right now, about a half inch of rain. Same thing for Freeport, Lucaya, and the Abacos, but just north of there, rainfall totals could be triple or quadruple that just north of the islands. Friends, I appreciate you guys. You want to send me a picture or video to help tell the story here at Meteo Mundo? Email me, mymeteomundo@gmail.com. Include your name, of course, where the picture video is from. You want to give me a description, I appreciate that as well. You can follow us across all social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. There is the email address again as well. You have a specific question about the forecast, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. While you're down there, again, I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing to the channel. If you live in the Southeast United States, our thoughts are with you guys. This winter weather is absolutely going to snarl traffic, which could be for a couple of day time frame even after the snow and the ice stops. I'll keep you guys updated. Have a great rest of your Monday. Remember that Meteo Mundo is sponsored by the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida. They're your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They represent homeowners, condo owners, and associations across the state. They offer free consultation and policy reviews. Go to leanomelaw.com. If the situation ever arises in your life and you need an attorney, you can call 407-502-0053. We appreciate the Lean Law Firm being a sponsor of Meteo Mundo. Friends, you guys take care. Have a great one. I'll see you soon next time right here at Meteo Mundo.